Hello everyone and welcome to another episode of RPGs with Paddy. I'm Paddy. So we're down to the final session, preparing to run Trail of Cthulhu. And at this stage we've done all of the hard work. The last part now is just a little bit about character creation. So let's get started. The information at the top of the page here is a little bit generic and we can go into more specifics down below. But there is just one thing that I want to draw your attention to, which is allowing adjustments. So when your players are creating their characters for the first time, there will be advice below, but even with that advice, sometimes they'll realize they made a mistake. And it's always good just to give them a little bit of freedom and allow a little bit of adjustment in their first game. Maybe they realize, wow, I didn't understand how important this skill is, but this one I put so many points into it and it's kind of useless. Can I change it up? In your first game, absolutely, I would say be quite forgiving with that. Especially when it comes down to the players didn't understand the skills. I would say you don't have to allow it towards the end of the game in the kind of the climax and they realize, oh, I wish I had put more points into weapons. But if they decided I'm putting all of my points into architecture and none into stealth, but actually stealth is more important in this adventure, you can be quite lenient with that. The most important thing is for your players to have fun during this game so that they want to play it again. But remember, it is also a horror game, so killing them is also fine. But yeah, do let them have that chance to have fun. It's no fun if you think, I just made a terrible character and it's not going to work. Alright, so on to the key ideas to keep in mind. It's difficult for the players to know how many points they should put into each investigative or general ability. But here are the key ideas to keep in mind. First, treat investigative abilities differently from general abilities. You put points into them completely differently. For investigative abilities, you should try to coordinate with the other players, and if you can, have most of the investigative abilities covered. That will be perfect. Even just having 1 point in an investigative ability can really change the game. Even if your pool points go down to 0, as long as you had points in that ability originally, you can still get core clues. So when it comes to investigative abilities, 1 point means that you're trained or talented in that field. 2 points means that you're both trained and talented. And 3 or more means you're an expert. So you can explain that to your players and say, generally between 1 and 3 points is what you're going to want to put in an investigative ability. On the other hand, for general abilities, you probably want to put more points in the skills. So generally 8 or more means that you're specialized in that ability. In general, most tests will have a difficulty of 4. So you'll roll a dice and try to get 4 or more. Spending points will increase the result of your die by 1. So if you use 3 points, you're guaranteed a success in one of the average tests where the result is 4. So you can tell your players, if you want to guarantee success at 2 average tests, put 6 points into that ability. So 3 points that you can use and another 3 points. That's a nice simple way to think of it. But I find most often, especially with first-time players, they will be reluctant to spend too many points in one go. Don't worry, they will learn quickly. The final 2 points are that you can't start with any ability in the Cthulhu Mythos ability when you're creating your character. There are exceptions if you want to do that in the future, but in general, when you're creating your character, no Cthulhu Mythos ability. And when it comes to what equipment should you have with you, most reasonable things that connect to your abilities and your occupation you will have on your person. You don't have to have written it down. You're like, I'm a doctor, so I have a doctor's kit. I have a medical kit. I have a firearms skill, so it would make sense that I would have a weapon. If there's something outside of that, you can roll for it using the preparedness skill. We haven't gone through that in detail, but maybe you've read through it. But I'll just show you now from the core rulebook, page 45. So I'll just read through preparedness here. Preparedness. You expertly anticipate the needs of any investigation by packing a kit efficiently arranged with necessary gear. Assuming you have immediate access to your kit, you may be able to produce an object the team needs to overcome an obstacle. You make a simple test, and if you succeed, you have the item you want. You needn't do this in advance of the adventure, but can dig into your kit bag, provided you're able to get to it, as the need arises. Items of obvious utility to a Mythos investigation do not require a test. These include, but are not limited to, notebooks or paper, writing implements and ink, flashlights, candles and matches, colored chalk, common tools and hardware, pen knives, magnifying glasses, pocket mirrors, string, sandwiches, and brandy. Other abilities imply the possession of basic gear suitable for their core tasks. Characters with first aid or medicine have their own first aid kits or medical bags. Photographers come with cameras, film, and flash bulbs. If you have firearms, you usually have a gun, and so on. Preparedness does not intrude into their territory. It covers general-purpose investigative equipment, plus oddball items, a telegraph key, a baseball, a gas mask, that suddenly come in handy in the course of a story. The sorts of items you can produce at a moment's notice depend not on your rating or pool, but on narrative credibility. If the keeper determines that your possession of an item would seem ludicrous, anachronistic, or out of the genre, you don't get to roll for it. You simply don't have it. Any item which elicits a laugh from the group when suggested is probably out of bounds. Inappropriate use of the preparedness ability is like pornography. Your keeper will know it when she sees it. I will make a separate video later showing the full process of character creation in case people want a video walkthrough. I haven't been able to find any good examples that I can share a link with, so I'll just create my own. Okay, and that's all there is. Can you believe it? We're already ready to run our first game of Trail of Cthulhu. Just like that. If you've come this far, whether it was by the end of January, or if you're catching up later, even years from now, I just want to say a huge congratulations. You've taken a big step by learning a super fun RPG rule set. Once you've run a few games, you'll be amazed at how smoothly it goes. If you have any questions about Trail of Cthulhu, feel free to ask me anytime. I'll be doing more videos showing character creation. And in the future, I'll also be looking at some of the other great supplements for Trail of Cthulhu, including Bookhounds of London, where you're antique book collectors in London, Dreamhounds of Paris, where the surrealist artists, including Dali, explore the dreamlands, and the art included in the book is phenomenal, and Adventures and Campaigns. Eventually, I want to get to Eternal Lies. I managed to pick up one of the rare special edition versions of this, but unfortunately there's not a lot of videos reviewing Trail of Cthulhu material, so I want to help fill that gap. So if that sounds like something you'd like to see more of, don't forget to like and subscribe. If you have a particular one that you'd like to see first, let me know. What interests you? But that's going to be it for this video, so I will see you next time. Bye!